Dallas and Houston, I was only having pints.
Pints.
Yeah. And can I say
much better.
something? Far better.
Way better.
You function better. I can function that day and the next day. Whereas hard liquor, even if I pace myself with hard liquor, no, you feel like
because all the
absolute
sugar
garbage.
out there.
All right, man.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
Another day, 007. We're doing OT right now. But where did Sean? Oh, they're at the screen. Neil's ready. They're ready. They're locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Neil's
locked and loaded, man.
We'll bring you guys another
Thank you, Vancouver Island,
man. $10 super chat.
You're gonna hit that?
Well, do you like Guinness?
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
Never had a Guinness.
We can get a napkin there?
Absolutely. They're yours anyway.
Well, half of them, are they? Yeah, I'm like, where did they all go? What the hell? Randy was whispering in my ear not too long ago. Now it's
sweet nothing.
It's a little wet. It was really close. I'm like, hey man, you didn't need to get that close, Randy. But hey, it is what it is, man.
All right,
how did you didn't even refill them? I was gonna say I'm gonna start taxing you.
Sorry, man. I panicked in the morning. I needed some. You had some there, and I just took them.
Crazy, man.
All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Look at this. Look at this. Assassino show.
Go disc driving.
Look at this. I'm running out of disk space, Rob. Man. Where's Rob when you need him, man? We're going to have to tell Rob. That's why it's been slowing down, man. That makes sense because the computer's
too expensive these days.
All right, guys. Neil's at the big board. We're sending you to Sean, Katina, man, Neil, the big boys. They take you into the afternoon. See you tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll here. Thank you to Sharif and Joe, of course, for the Midday Madness. And wow. Yeah, I don't know what, I mean, I only traded one small cap name, and it says BQ, and we just hit it again right there. So up there and then right into there as well for BQ. We just took a little bit off the 200 period moving average 31s. It's at 39 right now, so we're running small cap land here today as well. And we still have some CRWV as well that really has not moved, but you know, we're still long. We got stopped down and brought back in right there at 107. So 106.14. It may be raining outside, Sharif. It may be raining. And then our call of the day, SMCI 35 long, we get stopped out when it breaks VWAP, and now it's at 37.50. So that one's the banger of the day. And then SpaceX was the untaken banger of the day at I showed Sharif, we wrote down 134. It's just too early. Like, it wasn't even that early, man. The first 4 or 5 minutes, we should have been in there. And instead, we were on SMCI, and I don't even hold it for the moon. But it's going to be another positive day here on the market. So if you want to get started, Andre, why don't we do that right now? So look, traders, you guys have seen a lot of these gaps. You come in the morning, and you see a pre-market gap, and you're thinking to yourself, how exactly do I trade that? Do I think it's going to close that gap? Are we going to find a short? And then all of a sudden it runs against you? Are we going to look for a long? And then all of a sudden it fills that gap back in? Neil's going to be at the big screen and show you some examples of how you can trade those gaps successfully.
First thing, you got to identify what you're looking for. Is it a gap and go? Is it a gap and fade? The VWAP reclaim, trap, reversal. I mean, gap and go simple. High volume, above prior resistance, and break that sucker out. Fade is as it seems. The volume's not there. You're going into heavy resistance, and the short breaks down. IBIT was an example of that today. And then, of course, VWAP being reclaimed. That's one of the things we're a fan of. We love that volume weighted average price. It gets below the volume weighted average price, gets above, and then breaks it out. And of course, there are traps. But the one we want to talk about today is going to be almost like an amalgamation of two of them. Because if you have your execution rules set up, you can look at the gap and go in the VWAP trade and see them in the same place. But if you're going to do it right, there's a few things to consider. That 5-minute mandate. Now, some of you might use 3 minutes. 5 minutes. It's a principle that you want the open to happen and not execute right at the opening bell. You got to let that first candle form a boundary, a support level that you can get that go. Because if it's going to go, you have lots of room and all day long to take advantage of it. So why not be patient with your entry? Then it's what triggers you into it. Now, if the gap and go is what you're looking for, you want a clean breakout of that 3 or 5 minute high with volume confirming the move. It's very similar with the VWAP reclaim. You want to make sure it's reclaiming that volume weighted average price and holding it with that volume so that you can get that go. And then here comes the issue. You're never really entering a trade unless you know what it means to be wrong. You've got to have some stop placement. So if you have that 5-minute opening candle, that gives you a spot where you can cap your risk because it's a gap and go. If it doesn't go, then you've got to get out breaking that low. It's just that simple. You've got to make sure that you have a bid out. So first things first, we got our pre-market signal, all right? NBIS was on earnings, it was gapped up, it's over resistance, it's got big time R vol for sure. That's what we want to see. Then we talked about the entry trigger. Wait 5 minutes post open. Well, what do we see? There's your pre-market, there's your gap, there's the big hole. Look at the open. That first 5 minute candle breaks down, holding some support at 220, and then you get the bounce. The clean break of that top comes a couple of minutes later. There's your stop, and then you're off to the races. It's a thing. You have your risk management in place, the third point. You know if it loses that 220 or that first bar support, you're gone. You're not trying to hold it all the way to the pre-market low. There's no need for that. It showed you where the buyers came in at 9:30 after trying to rinse some weaker hands or some maybe profitable pre-market traders. But once it made that breakout, it's cleaning off to the races. And I'll do you one better, because if you look at where it went in the opening push, have a look at that pre-market breakout range. It's about $20 worth on NBIS. So when it breaks out the top, it goes parabolic to about that same move, about 20 bucks in, and you can see how well it holds trend. The other thing to keep in mind, and we did talk about the VWAP hold, that was also here. You can get a 2-for-1 with this because you get your opening range. There's the VWAP reclaim on volume, so you can actually have this one with the breakout of the 5 minute and with the VWAP reclaim. Even dips into the volume weighted average price again to once again give you a fill right in the same range. There's 3 separate ways that you could have seen this one as a gap and go, because it had the volume, it had the story, it did both the 5 minute bar breakout and the VWAP hold and the VWAP reclaim, everything in there that you could have wanted. And of course the continuation was fantastic. This is the thing. Not all gap ups are created alike. Some of them are going to bamboozle you. You're going to see that heavy candle at the open. Some will continue. Others will give you that bounce. As long as you allow that first move to happen and play after it, then you can be on the right side. So you're not just catching a falling a knife because you expected it to go up. You're joining it after the buyers come in at 9:30, confirming that this gapper is good to go.
So there you go. There you have it. Those are the gap strategies that you're looking for every single day. Make sure you get that confirmation. Be specific and be precise, and you will no longer be chasing those gaps. You'll be part of the move in the right direction. So thank you, Neil, for that. And make sure you do drop the comments below. Let us know if you've been caught in any of those gaps. And hopefully nothing's halted against you, because that would also be a problem. Drop the link, drop your notes below. Thanks to everybody for listening to that quick little session. So thanks, Neil. That was a good one there as we discuss gaps. I mean, there's been a lot of gaps recently that have happened.
SMCI was a good example, actually.
Yeah, SMCI today. Was it today? Gap fill, I guess? Yeah, through.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, through those levels there, making it up there, gapping higher into the earnings report. On the daily, it doesn't look like that.
More
there's
than
the
15.
gap.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there's the gap from here from 31 up to 34.50. And then the continuation play. It's too bad we don't have that. Even SpaceX recently has been starting to gap a little bit higher. I just see huge. This has done 120 million shares here today, SMCI. So
that's more than SpaceX. SpaceX is more.
Yeah. SpaceX is more than that, I think. No,
108.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
but it's more expensive.
Earnings, plus earnings, right? So, yeah, 108. Yeah, SpaceX is on one again, another 9%, just continuously going higher here. SPCX. All right, while we were doing that, I got out of half of my trade. And it was actually just as we went on air at 2 o'clock, basically. Bought it, right there on the break of the 200 period moving average. Got out on the move up into the 200 period average. Just have half left. What's up to everybody trading BQ today? So we say, hey, what's up to all of y'all? And then CoreWeave. Okay, well, there we go. I was going to say, where is CoreWeave right now? But it's going to be at that volume weighted average price. So for me, that's an out. So we'll just punch some out right there at 95, 96. Get a little bit more out there of CoreWeave, but we finally make that next little leg higher there, $2 on this one. We'll be looking for some new trades, obviously, here today. Noticing that SoFi has made a little bit of a bounce. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bounce back. NASDAQ still up that 1%. I don't know what the ES is doing. They're 7.7. Okay, so we're still at 7.775 on the ES, up 0.35%. But yeah, SoFi battling back. It was kicked pretty early down there, 17.65, trying to break through 18. That could be a trade soon enough as well. So we'll go back over to Neil, and then we'll start discussing some trades.
Absolutely. Let's discuss first, before those trades, a little bit about Origenics, because they've got an update, and they're on the NYSE American, and they've activated their Phase 2A clinical trial in Australia. They've got their first site fully operational, and patient dosing is expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment that targets concussion and mild traumatic brain injury. That's an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Origenics has spent the past year strengthening their balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. I want to thank Origenics for sponsoring this portion of the show. And thank you, Trader Griff, for the super chat. We appreciate you. Gents, can you give me a read on playing this 45 break in IonQ?
IonQ.
IonQ. IonQ is going today? Oh, yes, it is. Absolutely. I mean, this is going gangbusters. Like, well, apparently the timing of being able to sell the Los Angeles Lakers is exactly the way you have a big tax bill that you need to pay. Just amazing how that works out. IonQ 4 points today. You know what? This looked like for everything we were talking about successful gappers, this was the gap and fade early on. And then it did it again, and then all of a sudden, IonQ catches a huge bid. Ooh, right to the 200 SMA. It went to the daily chart second, not first. So we can see it is running into a little bit of resistance. It's up 4%. That's pretty good. But the 50 and the 200 period loom, and there was this level here at 46. So I would think this could be a nice spot where some profit taking might happen. But it's a good breakout on the 15-minute for sure. Like the hold to the higher low. This is where you always have to zoom out, because on that 3-minute, did it not look like, oh, that's for sure a fade all day? But move up, higher low, hold the bottom, and then double bottom at another higher low to resume the upward trend. So it was on an uptrend. You have to always factor in, like, what is the stock doing overall? Sure, at 9:30 and then at 10 o'clock, this looked like a short, but it's also one that held the structure of its multi-day long with that double bottom. That's almost like a great double bottom there for IonQ. Yeah, congrats. You found a good one there, but I don't know, when does IonQ report, or have they already?
They already did.
They already did. Oh, that's right. All of them. Yeah, all of them did the same week.
Or last week.
Yeah, last week. Arthur, thank you. Arthur this morning. We had Arthur, you were asking about, I think it was SpaceX this morning as well, Arthur. And that's, I don't know, RON?
Romanian, I think it was.
Okay, so Romanian, nice. Yeah. SpaceX outlook for this week. Well, the IPO price?
That's going to be today.
Like whatever, but there's no other, it's literally the only level to look at this point. Would be, well, not the IPO price, sorry, I mean the IPO open. I shouldn't say the IPO price. The IPO price was 135. It opened at 140. I thought it was 149, not 150.
No, 150.
Okay, so 150. And you saw, look at all the support that it had. It had it for days. And then on July the 10th, it lost a bid. 150 seems like the spot. It seems like it wants that today. But the outlook for this week is test the 150. And if there's no sellers there, like there were at the 140, I'd be surprised. What it does on the way back, I think 140 on the way back makes a little bit of sense, because that'll be the 50 on the daily and the prior high. But yeah, SpaceX is absolutely and continuously on one, so they say. It's
been on one for a minute there, and we put longs on the board the last little while. We just don't have anything today, which is embarrassing because it is just straight fire. We're having another good. We don't have any losers today. I mean, I've got BQ, I've got CRWV, and I've got SMCI. So we're just 3 for 3 there today. I appreciate what Sharif was saying, how he's 0 for 3 this week on green versus red days. Tough, right? Trading is tough, so you got to watch out for some of these moves, and especially on a name like SpaceX, where you could have got caught the wrong way. You just want to make sure you punch out when and if that does happen. For me on today's for SpaceX, almost back to flat. I mean, we bought some 170s and then some 135s, putting us basically right at 150. So if we can get that back through that would be good. And of course, I'm not going to be getting out of it. I like SpaceX. What I'm waiting for is like some kind of a candle, like even right there. You could have gone short into there at 143. It only retraced. Well, actually, it did retrace decently on that last big sell spike at 1143. You would have got short in and around here. You would have given yourself to about 143.50. So let's just say you see that candle, maybe you get short the next like 142.50. It does go down to 141, so that's about $1.50 there. You've had to give yourself about $1 and change on that trade. So I think that's kind of the next step that I'm looking for right here as we zoom back out now on SpaceX, looking for some kind of a volume, and I have it up on others. Screens here as well. So we'll just wait to see if there's something that's going the other way. But yeah, XHLD, I see you above in there. You're getting excited about this one. So X-Ray Hotel Lehman Delta right now it's starting to go back upside. So there goes XHLD. I think this was the frustrating one, I think, for Sharif. I'm not sure. But there's the break of 580 up to $6 and starting to get extended now. Just obviously a Chinese name here, XHLD. You go back. Well, this is the one that we were looking at earlier, wasn't it? There was 350 or so break. No, that was OFAL, I believe. By the way, CoreWeave right now is trying to upside. $3, $3.30, $3.40, $3.50, $4. There, XHLD. I don't know when this name.
Oh, it's actually American.
Will stop. American company. Hold on a second. What's it called? XHLD.
Yeah, 10 Holdings. Inc.
Oh, 10 Holdings. Yeah. Well, actually, we've seen this. This is something that's run in the past many times. But the shortfall can't be correct. Is it 0.4? 10 million?
I mean, that's what it says.
What is
it? Doesn't
the news
seem
here?
right.
Yesterday. Oh, earnings yesterday. Monday, August 10th. Earnings. That's the latest story we have here. But yeah, definitely getting that kick here today is XHLD all the way to the upside. So congrats on that one, Buff. And it just looks like we might have just topped out. We just did have the biggest volume spikes back to back big volume spikes there at $6. So the story, I don't think it's over or anything like that, but it's getting lighter and lighter there on XHLD. And then this one's been halting BANL. So BANL.NQ halted a couple times up and down, and that is what it is right now.
That's the low volume.
BANL. So it's a very, very low volume, 1.7 million shares. Robinhood was on one this morning as well as SoFi. They're both trying to get back upside right now. At least Robinhood got green, and it's hovering around VWAP.
The problem with Robinhood is, see that false break at 96?
18.
That was a really big level for Robinhood to try to take out, at least locally. So it's disappointing because look at this, the 200 period moving average, and the 15 will show up better here if I zoom it out. Like this was what Robinhood was dealing with today. Probably, look, if you took it as a day trade, this breakout, you hit it and quit it, it goes, I guess that would have been like 90, call it 96 even, it goes to 97, but that's a pretty clean reverse. I don't know, if Robinhood can't get back above 96 today, like that looks like a false breakout and then maybe a start of some shorts. You just got to keep it real, especially if it loses a 200 period again here. Like I like it. I mean, I bought it in the 80s and it doesn't really look all that healthy after that false break, unfortunately, on this sucker. I'm in one of them, one of these small cappers. It's the lost VWAP, IMT. I don't know if this one's Chinese. I have no idea. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just that some of the Chinese ones seem to do the 100 or 200% more than others. So it lost VWAP, shorting it, basically looking for it to get to 40, but there was a barcode at 46 earlier, so that's one I want to try to take out in front of 46, and then the next bids will be out in front of the absolute low. The other thing we got going on, I see a colorful graphic. It's Adara. She's at the wall. Let's see what she's got in store for us. It looks interesting.
Earnings? I don't know what that is.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's time for today's edition of To the Window, To the Wall, where I pull up an infographic window and we talk about it on the wall. Now, I've got infographics out today on CoreWeave, Lumentum, Nebius, but instead I decided to talk about everyone's favorite company, SMCI. And I think this really actually was a good look for SMCI. Now, I know they missed on net sales, revenue, however you want to put it. They call it net sales, so I'm calling it net sales. But it still grew by 91% year over year. And that's not even talking about the massive guidance beat, as Neil said, roughly 30% guidance beat forward for fiscal 2027 revenue. Let's go over as well here to their net income. So Q1, you've got $168 million. Q2, $401 million. Q3, $483 million. $1.2 billion in net income for Q4. That is nearly 3x on a sequential basis. So I really like this net income look. And of course, we have to talk about the gross margin beat. Now, we already knew gross margins were going to be pretty good. I think they guided 15 to 17%. in their preliminary Q4 report, they even beat those with 17.6% gross margins. So as much as we like to poo-poo SMCI, I actually don't think this is that bad of a report, and I think this visual proves it. Where do you find this visual, you may ask? I posted it last night on X at TTV Research. So you can just go to X at TTV Research. I also have a visual just showing its impressive gross margin growth over the last four fiscal years / 16 quarters. But I also have another visual coming on SMCI tomorrow. That's right. We've got RPO or backlog or however you want to put it. We've got extra visuals always coming here on X at TTV Research. It's the place you need to be for all your market content. And we're now also on StockTwits. So with that in mind, that was today's segment of To the Window, To the Wall. We're sending you back over to Neil and to Sean.
Okay. Man, that net income number is like, that's intense. 70. That's sort of the thing. Like Adura just said, I didn't even believe it. I triple checked it. 200, almost 250%. Call it 235, 240, maybe something like that percent. 70% gross margin growth, but those are because it's the gross margin. That's all. I'm assuming it's all quarter over quarter. Then you compare it to 10% like sales growth. I mean, like on some level, the math doesn't it's not mathing in my head. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Still an impressive growth number either way. So.
All right, we're long SpaceX. I don't know. I mean, I tried to go short in front of 147. That didn't work. We got stopped down. I just said this. We're gonna go long. So we punched along on SpaceX, and here it goes, man. 147. So again, another 50-cent winner right now. All right, so now they're down 60 cents, up to 148. We'll take another piece out right now. Why not? At 147.95. So, silly me going short. SpaceX, what an idiot I am. But yeah, right into here though, just to show you guys today, 500K subscribers. We got to adjust that. We're approaching 600 now. But yeah, this was the hot fire spot today. 134 long SpaceX, 35. At least we have the 35 break on SMCI. SMCI right now, $38. So that's already 10% higher. And 35, it's not like that was like Intel, we wanted the long, but we wanted it so much lower than where it was. That was never realistic. It was very realistic, but just didn't hit. The SMCI trade actually goes against myself right there when we took it. And then it just blasted up. So this SMCI trade, again, just working. Yeah, we're just working out right there. 34.85. There was the break. It didn't even break. It broke 35 and then came right back and I got that fill. So really right away off the open, we take it. Adara's got something. What's going on?
SpaceX is going to the moon, or rather to 148. So we already know this got a nice little bump here around 11:30 a.m. after the company announced its Grok 4.6 model. They also actually provided a list of benchmarks that actually beat Fable on a couple benchmarks. So that's a nice look. Then Elon Musk a couple minutes ago replies to a user on X and says 4.7, their Grok 4.7 models, is significantly better than 4.6 and should be ready in 3 to 4 weeks. Initial training is complete. So Elon Musk basically saying, yeah, you like 4.6? Here you go, market. Here's another model that'll be out very soon. So nice job, Elon. SPCX making new intraday highs. Also, thank you very much to Casey for the kind super chat on the screen. I really appreciate it. And thank you all in the chat for enjoying the To the Window, To the Wall segment. I hope it provides some value to you. And you can always request what tickers or infographics you want me to cover or to make on that segment at any time. Just tag me in the chat and I will try my best to see it and respond.
Thanks, Adair, and thank you to Casey. Casey also very generous with the TraderTV Live memberships as well. I want to shout that out. A fantastic way to be able to pay it forward. Yeah, so their model's going to pass Gemini too? Is that what's going to happen? Is that how they're going to roll? Google's falling behind when it comes to that. But you know what? Their cloud growth is fantastic, so that can be an opportunity for them. It's almost the thing with Alphabet is like you get so much value out of them because the reality is you're almost getting some of the side businesses as if, not free, that's the wrong way to put it. I think that's more true with Amazon because they're all AWS, but you almost get some of the side businesses. Like the future upside for Quantum and Alphabet, you're almost getting that as like a free roll, I would think, the way that trades a lot of times. But speaking of, I know the market's a little bit quiet, SpaceX continuing to fly higher, but that sucker, Alphabet, it's starting to wake up. I don't want to give it the Undertaker graphic, which we don't have, by the way, which I still want. when something rises from the dead. But this is trying to make that breakout above the volume weighted average price. And we've seen that story before, but one name this afternoon that is 100% going to be in play, Intel, and we mentioned this morning. I can just grab it so I can show you guys. It's just so much easier to visually show you guys. At the close today, oops, let me zoom in, full screen, and then try to zoom. There we go. At the close today, Intel is a share increase of 34 million shares. That's the expected for the S&P 500. So it doesn't mean Intel's going to rip going into the close. It doesn't mean there's going to be a buy imbalance on Intel going. It might not. But certainly I'm going to be looking for a long. If it dips into VWAP, I want to try a long in there. If it ends up a breakout trade, I'd rather not that. But what I have the eyeballs on right now is this little thing it's got. It's got a little higher low support after it broke above the volume weighted average price. So I'd like it to confirm. This is about 102. Confirm this hold, put a tight stop, and just try to enter the long. If it loses 02s, you can wait till the volume weighted average price. But I just want to be into this on a long setup, and ideally try to run it into what may or may not be there at 350. It's a NASDAQ stock, so you're not gonna know what the imbalance is till 350 anyways. There's no early look. When we go look at the early imbalances at 3 o'clock, 3:30, we're not gonna see anything on Intel. But if it ends up a gigantic buy, I'd rather already be in it than be trying to hit the buy key at 350, because the algos are gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, there should be some good actionable trades happening over there later on. I'm just sitting here watching this, and I just put out a tweet there, better late than never. I mean, if we're going to sit here and talk about, playing momentum, riding waves, this and that, I mean, SpaceX is definitely on one. I mean, this is up 50%, or let's call it 44% or so in a week, 5 days maybe. Whatever that lockup day was, August the 6th, everyone was like, oh no, this thing's going to crank. And then I was like, you know what? Elon has a very easy method of roasting shorts, and that is just put out, respond to tweets like he did today, And this is definitely, turned out to be such a cult stock, just like Tesla has been, and SpaceX continues to work out. And, everyone got a discount down here, man, 110. Like, that was screaming to be bought, especially once we broke higher there. Even 120 was a great level. Now we'll wait for 150. I'll probably punch longer there. I was telling Ozan there in the chat, well, just in the in the public chat. Make sure you do get on our chat first of all, like immediately, so we can see what you guys want to talk about. But yeah, there goes SPCX. Buck and change in the money on that. Sorry, 80 cents in the money on that. $2 and change here on CoreWeave. So yeah, man, it's been good. And then I only have half of this. I mean, just get out of this, man. I mean, we're long at 131. There's nothing going on here with this BQ. I don't know if it's going to go back to the upside. I mean, we took advantage of that play. Like even now, VWAP and the 200, VWAP's up here, 144. The 200 and the 50, that's the 200 is the green, the 50 is the purple, and then this kind of grayish line there is 25 premium. Like that, the best we can get there is 1 penny better than what we have right now. Oh my God, man. The net just keeps on climbing, so you're not going to hear me complain about that. But this SpaceX is just like now getting new highs here. Like, does anybody actually want to short this in front of 150? I mean, I think that could be a play, but you got to let it get there. So I think this thing drifts upside right now. I'm actually out of exactly half right here for that buck smooth, and now we'll wait where we get going. And we had talked about this with Brian about looking at a 2-minute sort of cover-up candle. This is maybe a month and a bit ago, and I haven't really looked at it too much because we would have almost gotten out right there at 147.90 or so if that was the case. But we'll take another out on the high side of 148.50 and then wait to see where their best position to get out on, and maybe it is right here at 147 and change. Thing is, you got to be careful. It does have its ups and downs. This is just really, really riding high, and I actually want to change this over to a different time frame also. Yeah.
Arthur?
Yeah, sorry about that, Arthur, man. I mean, I can only be here so long, but I think that was a good trade probably for you at the time. But we're here now. We can hold hands on this long. Hopefully you're there. But yeah, sorry for shorting it. Look, I mean, Neil shorted it early and got out. So, I mean, that's the thing. As long as you got out, I mean, I shorted it too right here, but now we're laughing at
46 came, it 3 times went 46 to 45.
Right.
Ultimately, it always just comes down to what your stop is, because I don't know, maybe you're like 146 short with a 150 stop, and you're trying to hold it. like overnight or something. Again, everyone's trade's going to be different. Like for me, when we were doing the video this morning, if SpaceX when we were doing the video just now, SpaceX initial setup was the false. It wasn't really a gap up, but it was kind of a gap. It was a small gap up. It wasn't doing a lot of volume. The first thing it did was fail the pre-market high, come back underneath, and then was like the VWAP trade. But then it regained VWAP. So it's been off to the races ever since. So as long as you have an out when you're in a trade, then you got yourself a trade. So good luck. I mean, 150 does seem like a bit of a level. If I saw it do a topping tail at 150, like that to me is a trade. But that's at $150. I don't know if we're going to see that.
We're seeing it.
No. I mean, a topping tail candle.
No, maybe I don't. I think
if it just clean breaks out, then there's to me, there's no trade. Like if it does a topping tail reverse back through or something, that can be a trade. What I want to point out is the market's trying to catch a bid here, and for whatever reason, I don't know what SanDisk is doing, but that was strong earlier. Now it doesn't look as strong. So SNDK, Intel's literally not even moving. SNDK, if this starts getting a bid, have a look at DRAM up here. Like if it starts getting a little bit of a bid, DRAM is a breakout if SNDK starts going, but I got to think of it in both directions. If you lose the bid on SNDK, this becomes all kinds of resistance at 55. And up here on DRAM. It'd be nice if it could take out this top, but if SNDK doesn't really pick it up soon, this just looks like resistance last week, not fourth day in a row, but the fourth day that this can't seem to break out above 55 on the memory chip names, and you're able to get 54.90. So it'll be a short first because when you zoom out, it's at a resistance level, and one of the main components isn't really looking all that good. SNDK had good earnings, but sometimes it's almost like you bounce so far that the profit takers start coming in there.
Let me see what's going on with PayPal saw $58.
That BNL.
Let me see what's going on with.
How is it still halted? Or not?
Which one? Oh, I got a piece out of BQ there. By the way, I took a 30 fell.
Oh, it's not moving.
No, it's not doing anything. So I'm gonna take out of that. We'll see if we get a little bit of a bigger move now. I have very little left on this trade. Get out for flat, take that profit there, and then we hit it early. This is where we made the money when we were live with you guys on that first move higher into that. Oh, there was just a name I looked at before I hit that. Always NVIDIA. Yeah, so NVIDIA climbing, bouncing off VWAP pretty nicely there at 223. So into 224.50 right now. I just took a little bit more out in SpaceX here at 148.50. It is having a little bit of a problem. But yeah, NVIDIA's trying to go upside. They're up 3%. I mean, 230. I did this yesterday and I had to look it up again. The all-time high for NVIDIA is back in June, of course. 236.50. No, it wasn't that. I looked up something else yesterday. 236.50 all-time high for NVIDIA back in June.
They had like not a poll, but they had a question in the midday chat. I don't know if they did a poll for it. I don't think they did. Yeah. And I thought it was an easy under. It was over under.
Yeah.
I think it was 12 and a half days. 12 and a half trading days. I believe I have this right. 12 and a half trading days for NVIDIA to get to the all-time high. Like not 12 and a half trading days. And that's $12. You said 36, right? Yeah.
236, yeah.
Yeah, so $12 from here. $12, 12 and a half trading days. I took the under.
$1 a day.
I mean, $1 a day, that's 0.5%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just had such a nice run. I mean, when does NVIDIA, is that when they report NVDA?
I'm going to assume that's
what they
report
in 14 days. They report August the 26th.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll take over. I don't think NVIDIA. I mean, look, I would like it to get to all-time highs. I think it's been on such a big run there from 190. I mean, and NVIDIA is my largest holding now. By the way, I did that math the other day. 224.69. So that puts us up. If we come over to the chart, who's over there? Fabian. Up 17%, which isn't huge since July 31st. So 17% in a month. Probably a lot, but can get more epic than that, of course. So we'll wait to see. I don't know. Well, I think that'd be an awesome feat if it got up to there. And I'm just kind of surprised. Like today I'm not surprised. 3% is fantastic. We just know that the sheep does have, or the king does have, his emperor has his clothing with NVIDIA for sure, hovering around those highs. as you see pullbacks in Google. I just think like it's 1 or 2 stories away from a couple 3 or 4% down moves, and then all of a sudden that 12 days, I still think it gets to all-time highs. I just don't know if it gets there before earnings. That's all. But okay, even like a name like MRVL, really like that name. And again, with situational awareness, that was well aware of the move down in MRVL. No one really knew why that was happening until after the fact. And then of course it bumps right at some good support levels. So I think that MRVL does have its place up near around 260. So I think that could be something to get going on as well, if you wanted some MRVL.
Nobody knows, but you have to watch. One of the most accurate things about Billions, the show, is there are people that know,
right?
And those people, those people are on the bid when they recognize it.
Yeah.
Now those, and again, that's.
I mean, the stock market not being fair.
It takes advantage. You have that inside knowledge, take advantage of it. It's no different from when Warren Buffett gets a good deal from the government on something.
Yeah, the only thing is that becomes public knowledge, right? Like these guys know on the inside way earlier.
Yeah, but he gets a Buffett.
It's also rigged.
He'd get that Buffett, was it like 6 to 12% bounce or something like that.
Oh yeah.
After it's because he has the position, and then the second it gets
look at what's his name on Wendy's
publicly,
today.
And then you get 6 to 12. Peltz is a perfect example of that today. And
thank you.
Maybe Nelson Peltz wants to own Wendy's. I don't know. It's entirely possible the guy wants to own Wendy's, or he's built a position, he's doing the activist thing, saying I'm going to be interested in buying it, and it gives the 40-something% shorts reason to want to cover, and then there you go. The visualizers got NBI. Oh, well, look at the names: SpaceX, NBIS, SMCI, NVIDIA. All these are names with the exception of Hertz that got coverage today, I feel like. OFAL got some love. BIVI did Tesla. Micron, maybe a little bit. CoreWeave 100% did. IREN for sure did. CF, that was a small cap that we got coverage. Oh, Meta sucks. Meta still down at 580, still down 2.7%.
Disaster.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, Uber is the biggest disaster. At least I tried to warn everybody about it.
What was the one we were just talking?
Now Uber's down 4.25% right now. Damn it, man. Uber was right there at $78 earlier today. It's gonna haunt me for a couple minutes. All right, we are now out of BQ. So that one just boom right there. We got out, I think, 25 on that break. So that's going to be a nice trade today on BQ as we start to stack it up. No negative Nancy trades here. We're going to wait to see if it eventually comes through upside. We're taking out more and more on SpaceX right here as it does approach that 150. My best out, 148.90. So we do have to go back to the desk. It's Adara, and then I believe Sia.
Let's talk about DraftKings, guys. DKNG in focus. DraftKings dropping a little bit here off of the top high of the day as the information reports that Sequoia and Wellington are in talks to back Kalshi at a $40 billion valuation. Now, why is it significant? Because, of course, Kalshi is actually a competitor of DraftKings in the whole prediction market. So DKNG to the downside. We'll take a look here as well as FLUT. FLUT not really reacting. DraftKings is. We'll send you over to CF for happening now.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much again. No matter. Let's take a look at the market and what it's doing right now. You have the SPY that is currently up. That is currently up 0.18%. The triple Qs are up close to 8% on the day, and the Dow up very, very marginally, but it is still up. Now let's take a look at two tickers. I do want to talk to you about ACM. ACOM. Shares have dropped over 7% due to weak results for the fiscal third quarter. The company has reported a revenue of $3.59 billion, which is down 14% year over year. And net service revenue in the United States has come in at $808.4 million, which is below the FactSet consensus of $1.24 billion. Let's take a look at Kava as well before I send it off. CAVA. There you go. Kava reported as well second quarter earnings of 19 cents per share, topping LSEG consensus estimates of 18 cents per share, revenue of $368.4 million, topping anticipated $361 million, and the company ticker CAVA is up over 14% on the day. So you have Kava up 14%, ACM down over 7%.
Yeah, that's actually disappointing for Kava. In a lot of ways, because this was looking like it had a real chance to go. Like we were just talking about gap stories, right? Gap above resistance, volume was there, everything, like daily, is your resistance on the daily, like it was above that, had a chance to break the 200 period. Instead, you get a fail of that same level. Whether it holds on to 70 is going to be the key. That's kind of the aftermarket high, but just in so much as 14% can be somewhat disappointing. And again, when you're looking at day trades, it's very different from the long term. In the long term, you're going to be happy with the quarter. You're going to be happy with 14%. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but I'd say the disappointment was this morning. It looked like it was going to be one of those names that was included in the breakaway and run, but that's a good thing. Like, if you see it lose a bid, you just don't have to be involved with it. You just stay away. Nick Dubs, we can review SMR, but just give it a second. I'm going to be out if we break 55.10 is the lower high on DRAM, and we're now $1.50 away from, we'll see what happens to SpaceX at 150. It has to do with topping tail candle. That's the only way I want in. And then you mentioned SMR. I like SMR for a shot play. I understand they're not making money and they're not breaking 10. There's a $10 breakout trade on SMR on the daily. And I think that's going to look interesting when it does happen. It's a potential that it does happen this week. It tagged it once, twice. You could argue that it did it for a third time. The good news is every single time we're putting in some higher lows on this 15 minutes, still with a chance to go. So I think $10 breakout is there. And Gotham House, how come I don't hear BTC crypto talk this much these days? Not in the channel overall. Oh, not on this channel overall, but on social media news, because they're in a bear market. Crypto is in a bear market. IBIT is struggling. It can't get off the schneid. Every time it tries to go, actually ETH made a semi-breakout, that was better. Coin made some moves here and there, so BMR made some moves. Like, there's places that are to go, but what are they supposed to talk about? How it doesn't go up, and how when it does go up, it's a fraction of what the NASDAQ does. And, again, we're in a bear market for crypto, and it doesn't make it very exciting unless you want to just come in and look for some shorts. That's just how it is. The reality is in for them. And so it's not going to be exciting for bulls. West Palm Beach trades. ANET. Thanks for the super chat there, West Palm Beach. Arista. Yeah.
Arista, yeah.
What do we like about Arista?
Near highs. It's
that looks great.
Yeah, it is starting to go up on Arista there. I'm going to talk about it in a minute. We just took a 148.60 fill rate now. But the bull case there for ANET, let me just have a quick little look at what's going on, whether or not you're long or short. I just looked at the daily on my other screen over here. It's really getting excited now. ANET, come on, or Arista. Is it a New York name?
Yeah,
oh, wow, okay, wow.
Yeah.
All right, it's interesting there that we have this kind of a play on this here again. Of course, here, as we continue to go on Arista networks, AI continues to push it, right? So when did they didn't report today, I don't believe. Arista networks? No, we would have.
No. They were, I believe, last week.
Okay, so switching in the cloud, Ethernet, top of the food chain here, right? And so this name continues to work as data center. So for today, you're getting that bump up because we saw, names like IREN and, a name like MRVL all start to go upside. We had some great reports, obviously, from SMCI. You're seeing other AI names, such as the one I'm in and both that I'm in today with CRWV and then with SpaceX. So if we're going to start talking about all of that, they have extremely high, I'm just looking at, they have high margins of over 50% right now, right? And so, this is a picks and shovels name, right? So these guys, supply has been limited as for them as well. So the more that they can continue to provide, the better it is. I don't actually know a whole bunch about this AI fabric. So it's the switches, it's the scaling. It's basically, it's similar to, we talked about photonics, how they need all of those products to get going. Arista Networks also part of that story. So if you do like the AI side of the trade these days, this one I think is primed to get even higher than where we are right now. But I do have to do some more work on ANET.
It was exactly a week ago. Week Tuesday.
Yeah, I just said 3 times high. Like the guidance is huge, the revenue was huge, $3 billion in the quarter, tripled year over year. Their purchase commitments. So they have backlogs as well, Arista. So, all of that just means better, right? We saw today, this is up 6.5. Maybe I should have diversified out of some of the MRVL and get into Arista. But yeah, there it is. Come on, man, my charts aren't changing. Okay, there's MRVL there, up 5% today, so similar. That went up to 224, so that was probably up 6.5% as well. All right, man. Now $1.28 right now. So,
oh my God.
You know, we're $2 in on CoreWeave, we're $1.40 in now on SpaceX, and this is a trade that we've given to you live here. Neil's in DRAM and in IMTE. What is this?
That's one of those runners. It's just one of those ones that's dying.
Okay, good.
It's dying out.
It's nice to be short then.
Should be ideally you want these at 54, and the better ones are when they halt. Like if it halts down, it's like a little. This one didn't halt down. It was just a breakdown under VWAP, and I don't really see anything. We'd be looking if there were other small caps that were breaking out that were longs. We'd be mentioning them. The only thing on my halt list, it's just that BAN. It's that BAN-L stock, and this thing has no volume. BANL. So I think that's actually dead too. BANL, is that right? CBL International? Yeah, like look at this one. This one's also dead. Another halt down and then short. Like if you had this one under VWAP, it's basically the same play. And only 2 million on volume, so I think that one is dead on arrival. Grunfeld says Boxel. There's that AC.
Yeah, Boxel's moving, yeah.
XHLD, that 10 holdings. Ooh, that's at VWAP. Okay, like that one might be something. The only problem with this, look at the volume. See the volume? Yikes. The volume has absolutely died on this name. Not a huge fan of that. Maybe there'll be some Hertz action. And of course, I'm going to jinx it because the second you guys put Hertz in there and I pull up Hertz, it pulls back off its high. So the breakout on Hertz looks okay. There's a consolidation, maybe a 280 breakout on Hertz. Got the short float. It's got what you want. Hey, let's talk some small caps apparently at the desk because that's what CEO wants to do.
Why, thank you. Yes, that is what I want to do. The Russell is currently up 0.61%. Let's take a look at two individual tickers I've picked for you right now. You have VELO, that is Velo 3D printing tech company, has raised its revenue outlook for the full year. So now the company is seeing a revenue in the range of $65 million to $75 million, up from its earlier call for $60 million to $70 million. And the fact that consensus had anticipated this range to be around $64.4 million. Let's take a look also. Let me just take a look at the levels. Sorry, VELO up over 10.5% on the day. LQDA, Liquidia Corporation, is currently down over 9.5% on the day. Liquidia had reported results for the quarter ended 2026 revenue of $171.68 million, diluted EPS of 74 cents, whereas the $8.84 million and 49 cents EPS in the prior year quarter. So you have LQDA that is down, well, now over 10% on the day, and VELO, Velo 3D, that is up over 11% on the day.
Yeah, it's not the right spot.
Thank you there, Sia, for sure. Okay, well, maybe Hertz. Again, Hertz might be a bit of a jinx, but I'll throw this one up on the side. If you can break out, it's 280 with a double top. Again, the short float's good. Like a lot about it is going to make some sense there for Hertz, but none of these are really looking too crazy. At least right now, there's always a chance, right? The volume can pick right back up. You get a clean breakout. The other thing that works with this is it's not just a little mini breakout here. You're also breaking out over the post-earnings highs, which was 270. So it would be holding a consolidation over the prior high. I like that. Go a stop. If it breaks 280, whoops, not 28. Because if I put that stop order in, then I'll never get filled because it's obviously not going to break $28 today. So 280, and we don't have to cross very far. And if it breaks that top, then we'll go for a long, and then we'll see what happens next.
I got out of some SMCI is still a really nice stock. I wonder if the market's going to pull back a little bit here for some reason. CoreWeave, you know, just having a hard time breaking through 108.50, 109. So, you know, we haven't spent very much of the day over that level, right? And so, oops, I actually wanted to zoom this back out for us a little bit more here. So like this is like where we just been struggling to get through. So we've just been taking outs at these levels, but there's 108, well, let's call it 109. You know, basically that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 minutes there, maybe another 10 minutes. So like 20 minutes we've spent above 109. Everything else has been underneath it. And now you're kind of just dancing off this 200 period. So we just took another out right there at 107.60. And just a review. So we're so light on that now, man. We're like under 5% on CoreWeave. And SpaceX, think we have about a quarter left of our trade, not less than that, about 20% left on SpaceX. We just had a decent out again, as we talked about the 149. We got 148.60s. I still think it continue to work higher and harder for us on SpaceX up to that 150. And I do want to buy a 150 break as well. Let's see. Just saw silver coming up to some sort of levels, maybe SLV. No, not really. Battling off from the bottom there if we zoom back in. Trying to get up to VWAP. Still a little bit of ways away there on that one. You guys mentioned Box L. We can have a quick look at that one. CRW's still $1.25. CRW's going to be one of the top names here. I don't have, I've only traded 3 names today. So, very specific. Yesterday was 4 or 5. Today's 3. And this could be one. I mean, Box L, if we do halt, maybe it's halting down Box L up 100% there today. We could have a quick look at 580 if it comes back in. Yeah, it wasn't Beyond Meat. Didn't they have some sort of not a warning, but like a 30 days?
Yeah, like a letter.
Yeah, that they had to get it. So trying to get a bead, I guess a read on Cisco. Any intel with that one? And TTV Brain Trust, okay, from us on Cisco, sure. It's bugging the brain all day how to swing it. That's on Cisco?
Beyond's doing a reverse, by the way.
Okay, oh, wow, so get ready for that one.
One for, tomorrow. Hold on, yeah. It's doing a 1 for 30 reverse stock split effective August 13th to regain NASDAQ bid compliance. So obviously they had run afoul, and now they're going to do the reverse split. So the answer would be seemingly no, it's not going to get delisted because they're going to reverse split it so that they can, I suppose, stay in the market. Look, it doesn't change much, and when they reverse split, it probably just comes right back down again because fundamentally nothing has changed. If anything, it's just an opportunity for maybe you'll get a spike after and then people will start fading it again. Beyond Meat kind of stinks. There's really not much to say about them that's going to be good. At all. We did do a joke. I think we were saying if Beyond Meat had gotten back above $1 or something by X amount of time, we were going to eat on air. But now that it's doing a reverse split, forget about that because
that's going to be interesting on reverse split. But huge short float there as well.
Yeah, and now there's less shares. Maybe it does like a mini squeeze for a day or two.
Might want to get into it. When's the date for that?
It says effective the 13th, so I guess that means
tomorrow. I think you want to buy some Beyond Meat then, because tomorrow you're going to, what is it, 10 to 1? Or I didn't hear what you said.
It's 1 to 30.
1 to 30, okay.
So that'll be like 12, yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be 4 times 3, yeah, so $12 tomorrow. Yeah. Beyond Meat. So then you could, I mean, look, we never think that a reverse split is a good thing, but you do sometimes get that 1 or 2 day bump higher. So I think Beyond Meat could be something there for that. Look, Robinhood long term, I think the fact that they have a lot of young clients is a good thing, right? I mean, getting involved. Traders these days, like I know my kid's 25, 24, and he's with Wealth Simple, which is here in Canada, and it's free, basically just a free ride, right? I mean, it's free trading. It's better, more affordable, interest rates or whatever on your checking account. As far as that is concerned, easy credit cards, like all that kind of stuff for Wealth Simple, and I assume the same thing is going to be for Robinhood. So whenever you get into that cohort, I think it's a really good thing. And then as their positions, and we talked about this with Ramin, as I have, maybe 5-year horizon or so on retirement, it's like at some point, your account matures, right? And as long as the market continues to do what we think it's going to do, and that is go long, then yeah, there's going to be some nice opportunities for Robinhood to get more assets under management, because as my kid starts making money, he's going to invest and continue to use them to trade. So I think that winds up really positive there for Robinhood. And so I like the fact that they're a relatively new company in the fintech space. I just don't like the fintech space right this minute. Like there's too many options out there with the SoFis, with the Weebles, with the Robinhood, and SoFi has its bank charter, so that's why I chose them. Like Pikachu, I choose you. I could still like Charmander and everything like that, but at the end of the day, I think Robinhood is going to be a decent investment. I just think you got to give it some time, and the valuation is probably still through the roof.
It's not cheap. The chart on the weekly looks much better than the daily, because then you can at least go back to the IPO breakout level, which was 65. Like 65, there's it was a little bit higher than that, but here it is at 65. And then there was the big breakout when it took out that top finally, and then that ended up being support. 80 looks good, so it's at a good historic level, but it's been a tough road to hoe. I love SoFi too. I just don't know like what's gonna get. I don't know what the next shoe to drop is gonna be for them. Thought the quarter was pretty good, and it's just been sitting sideways. It's not breaking any lower, but it's sitting sideways. And the one thing about SoFi that's different is when this broke out the IPO high, it didn't continue. Like it failed the IPO high break, which is about $26 there for SoFi. We'll see. I still like the stock. Maybe it accumulates. If it does a long 1 year accumulation again at this level, then I think somewhere like in the last quarter of that, just wait for it to regain. Like let it catch the moving averages. If it just goes sideways and the 200 on the weekly just sort of catches up and it bounces off that'd be a good technical setup. But fundamentally, not really sure what happens. Mrs. Law just said, "Whoa, NBIS." Yeah. Nebius. But like Nebius, whether it's Nebius or CoreWeave or SMCI today, all three of them impressive. It's just that Nebius, the difference with Nebius is it had that clean break on the daily. Just goes to show that look at the 200 period. If a stock likes the 200 period and you like the stock, I wish this was on my list because the stocks I like, I try to buy at the 200 period moving average, and that's if you can even get them when they go down there. Like I lament the fact that GV Nova missed it by, I don't know, like 7 or 8% or something like that. And I ended up having to pay up, but it's you could have just throw a random bid out in front of it a little bit more. But this bounced clean off the 200 and now breaks out the 50. This has just as much a chance as any to be seeing some all-time highs after. But Hertz is a couple of pennies from breaking out. Not yet, but it's close. It's about to. DRAM's pulling back into that volume-weighted average price, but this is a play back into the volume-weighted average price. And the reason for it was like SNDK. Why is SNDK so weak? I actually don't know. I don't. But like right about here at 2 o'clock, right when we came on air, SNDK's cruising, just about everything in Shipland was doing fine. Like what is Micron doing at this moment? Like Micron's back into VWAP, but again, it's still above the volume-weighted average price. Not really sure why SNDK is struggling, but it was out there and we're making a bit of a temporary top. So I want to play this just back into the volume-weighted average price, and when it goes, we're done. Oh, Taylor, that's a good one. Taylor in the chat says, I thought Burry was shorting Palantir. He is shorting Palantir as far as I know.
Yes.
He's shorting NBIS as far as I know. I don't know. Maybe you have to get a Substack to know what prices and what he's doing with those, but he was short Palantir. I thought I heard something that said something about covering. Obviously, that would have been a good. If he's covered, he's made a fantastic decision. If he hasn't, I don't know. Because if you didn't cover, then could he even be in the money anymore on Palantir? It's possible, but I'd say somewhat unlikely if he was in the money on that short. Like, you had to have an out. Like he was right for months probably. And if you don't if he doesn't take it out, he must have taken it out.
I mean, he just manages a fund, so it's not even his money. So I don't really know.
His money's in the Substack. I thought he made
well, but that's like everybody, right? Everybody.
2.5, whatever, it's 2.5 million.
That's why, like, I think it's important. You guys can ask us, and that's why I was telling to you guys about Sharif and everything like that, about being honest. It's like, you make all these plays because Michael Burry's riding the coattails of the financial crisis, right? I mean, he was shorting the housing market, which is huge, and now he's making money on all these Substacks and everything like that. We don't charge you guys anything over here to trade, and obviously we don't have the buying power or the pull of Michael Burry. After hours, I'm just going to look at Cisco because we actually had that question. We forgot about it. After hours, Cisco, Coherent, upside over here. I think Coherent, it's already upside as well. Cerebras is going to be interesting. Let's see if the way that they formed their memory, and it's a little bit of a different chip base than what, DRAM and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to wait to see if Cerebras has gotten any sort of a pull as far as market shares. I have no idea what inflectation is. That should be interesting. So whatever. Cisco though, CSCO. So we get all of these, by the way, from Madeira. So this is at Trader TV Research. Like if I'm looking for something, I just search in here, boom, drop it down, and there it goes. Sia ran into me. I was like, oh my God, you have 58,000 followers? I was like, yeah, well, I mean, this one right here, 29,000 as well there for Adair. And I think Neil somewhere 30s or something, and 58 too. We had SpaceX. Oh, that's what we just talked about at 147. It's at 148 right now. And I've actually been covering a little bit of SpaceX there. But all right, so right here at 148, we got a 148.15 and a 148 flat. I don't know. Maybe it's seen its top. It wants to run away from that today. That's, I mean, very, very possible. Look, Cisco, I don't see, I think they beat and I think they go higher. I just, you know, we had CoreWeave yesterday. We sort of thought that they were going to have, you know, potentially a more dramatic move, and it did have that. I'm not sure. The implied move for Cisco is always pennies. It's not like maybe under 5%, something like that for Cisco. But the networking, love it. You saw some of the security aspects with Palo Alto and CrowdStrike, right? Like PANW. This is now like a third or fourth largest stock in my portfolio. Like I had even no idea how crazy this name had been going. But you see what Palo Alto's been doing here since this breakout, right? So it's broken out and hanging out higher, breaking. Like all these levels just keep on getting extended out. Palo Alto. So I like Cisco for their networking and for their security aspect. And if Palo Alto's doing this, and so is CrowdStrike, then I think Cisco is going to have quite the report. So I like it. So we're going to figure out what PANW and Cisco, it's not about PANW, what Cisco has in store for it. Because I think there's going to be a good money-making opportunity. You take out this 125. This looks like all-time highs up here at 130. Looks like we closed around. So I'm going to say Cisco tomorrow north of 130. And it's still not a huge move. That would only be $5.
Believe it or not, the expected move's 9.
9, okay.
So they want an all-time high break.
So I'm way under that
And apparently it was 13 last quarter. So, I mean, I guess everything's gotten a little bit more volatile because it did explode. It was Brian that liked them a while back at 89, I believe it was. Ryan Lewis. I feel like that's an R&B singer from Canada. Did you discuss Home Depot CEO going on leave? Impactful question mark. Adair did. Yeah, Adair did.
Hi, I can provide more. We don't know that much. So Ted Decker, he has a medical leave. I don't believe he discussed the condition. The company reports earnings on Tuesday, which, to me, I'm going to be honest. And again, really the only kind of prereq that I have for this is Thomas Siebel being like, my eyes are going, but I can still lead the company, and then stepping down as CEO and then returning as CEO. So there's not a lot of precedent for this, at least that I'm aware of. And, you know, not trying to be offensive to C3AI in the man's eyes. But let's go back to Ted Decker here. It's Edward, I believe he goes by Ted, over at Home Depot. So he's been there, I think, at least a good little while. And the fact that they report earnings on Tuesday and he's announcing this leave before then makes me think this earnings report could be really bad. Because I think the timing of this is really suspect. Because here's the thing, I think if it was a good report, then you announce, hey, we have a great quarter and I'm going on medical leave and I won't see you guys for a couple months. And they're having 2 people take over for his duties. I don't believe they gave a specific date that he'll be returning. So I'm sorry to kind of hijack the question from you, Neil, there. But just to provide some context, because I've read a little bit about it. Yeah, my thoughts are Home Depot could be Home Dropo, honestly. And I don't want to say that. And maybe I'm totally wrong. But just the timing of this, to me, it smells bad.
Well, don't ever say it's hijacking. You're the one that's actually read the story. It's not hijacking. That's what it's supposed to be, Jerry. So thanks for that. Because I don't know. So I'm not going to read too much into it at the end of the day. What I can say is it was looking a lot better on the chart, and the reaction right now is a bit of a flat bottom breakdown on Home Depot, which is not ideal, but hopefully you get some clarification in the call, because I think you're going to want to see that. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that they have 2 people filling the role. It could just mean, hey, you know, we hope it'll be like temporary, like that kind of a thing. And it's a big difference when it's someone, and again, I don't know this for Home Depot. Like, this is not as if like Elon Musk or a founder. Like if a founder got sick and was stepping away, like the stock down 10%, it would be perfectly normal. Home Depot, who's to judge? At the end, because you have an operator for a longer standing company a lot of times, and even if they've been there a while, it's tough to say. So, anyways, Hertz did break that 280. So, spoiler alert. The prior bars are at 75, so I'll stop under there. And then when it gets to 85, that'll be like an obvious place to look at. $3 stands out like a sore thumb. A, because it's $3. Let's be real. And you know what? Let's just go back to the daily chart. It's $3. there's been resistance there before. There was all kinds of support there prior also on Hertz. So just in that break, again, giving it to 5 pennies, probably every 5 cents, we're going to look for it to maybe catch one little bit of a check back. It tagged 85, but didn't actually print 85s on anything but dark pool. So I'm going to sit there on a reverse and see if we can't get it. What is that? Ooh, I just saw something in the chat. We're going to go up to SIA for Sector Watch. I think we have something interesting going on as well.
The SPY is currently up 0.35%. Let's take a look at the sectors and what they're doing right now. Electric tech right off the bat, NVIDIA showing significant strength here. It's up almost 3% on the day. But on the other side, Apple is down 1% on the day. Broadcom, GE, RTX, Qualcomm all trading flat at the moment. But you have MU, INTT, Cisco well above the 3% mark, with MU leading the trio up 6.2%. AMD that's up 2.2%. Dell up 7%. And you also have STX that is up on the day 5.5%. SNDK following it up 6% on the day. Tech services, Google remains flat while Meta setting a bit down here, further down 3.23%. You have Microsoft that is down 2.06% as well. Oracle, however, seems like a bit of a bull here today. That's up 4.5%. Palantir down 2%. PANW, not a crazy significant move, but it is up close to 1%. Netflix down close to 0.70%. CRWD and FTNT flat on the day. IBM down 1%, and you have CRM down 2.7%. Finance, BRKB and Visa down over 0.80%, but BRKB is down 1.2%. JPM, BAC, WFC, MS, AXP all in the green today, including Robinhood that is up very minutely, not that big of a move, 0.75%, and IBKR that's up 2.5%. Retail trade, Amazon down 1%, Walmart up 2%, but you have Costco that is flat, Home Depot that is down today, 2.69%. TJX is also down close to 2%, but producer manufacturing seems to still be a bull of the day, with AMET up over 4.5%, LRCX up inching close to 5%. CAT is up close to 2.5%. GEV is also up over 2.5%. But on the other hand, we have names like Tesla and consumer durables where they're lagging a bit, almost 2% on the day. And the entire sector in consumer durables is in the red, a bit of a bear, you could say, on the day. You have names like Ford, DHI, GM that are also pulling down a bit. But consumer non-durables, energy minerals, consumer services, utilities, industrial sector, all the four showing a bit of a mixed sentiment across the board. Health tech, Lilly, J&J also flat on the day. ABBV relatively flat, tilting a bit towards the red. MRK is down, up 2.5%. But in consumer services, do want to mention this one name, Airbnb, that is down 3% on the day. But DRI and Hilton that are up over 3% and 2.5% respectively. Let's look at two sectors and send it right back to the guys. Transportation, you have Uber that is down 3.8%, close to 4%. You could say EXPD that is up 3.5%. UAL not having a good day like it was yesterday. It's currently down 0.62%. FedEx up almost 2% on the day. And let's end it with health services. UNH is up close to 1%. Hum up 3.5%. And CNC up 3% on the day. Sending it back.
Oh, I gotta find that. Thank you very much, Thercia. I gotta throw up the super chat here because we just got this from Blicky Spears. Blicky, chop for charity donation. If you're wondering what that is, well, then you're not in the chat, because if you're in the chat, then you should be able to see what is pinned in said chat, which is a link to our main man Fabian on the ones and twos back there, part of the production crew, is cutting 20 inches off the perfect coif that he has, which would be nice. I mean, I could cut a millimeter.
Am I allowed to take that hair to Turkey?
For angel hair for kids by August 28th. So chop for charity. There's a link in the chat. And we already had a super chat from Blicky Spears dropping it in there for a donation.
Don't drop it in the chat.
Yeah, because the thing about it,
30 points.
Yeah, the YouTube takes 30%. Obviously.
Just go to that link.
Yeah, you can go to the link and donate.
In the chat. So
great cause. Fabian.
Absolutely great.
Can you at least show off the flow? Like,
yeah, Fabian's going to come over here in a second.
He's going to come over here and show off the flow.
Yeah, he's going to come over. He's coming right now. We've already showed it before. It's absolutely wild, his hair. As he comes over here, we'll just get a look on BoxL again here. Here's another super chat coming from Tisha Perkins. Yeah, BoxL for life. So Tisha, you're Yeah, so we'll drop that down for you there on Box L as, yeah, it is absolutely blowing up right now. Okay, good. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. So Box, I mean, we can have a look. Did we ever figure out what, so this is Box Light Corporation. A couple recent splits, split in June there on Box L. We're going to have Fabian in just 1 second. Box L there, splits in June, 1 for 6. We looked at this morning, and this is the one that we were saying there was some sort of clear skies into $11. But I was sort of thinking like that top right there off the split high is $8.50, and I actually thought today $5 was doing pretty good. But there goes Box L right there, breaking through 5, hovering around 6, hitting that 25 period moving average, and now all the way through. Get out of here, Fly. $8. All right, Fabian, is the mic working? I assume that it is.
The mic is working, yes.
Perfect, I hear it as well. Okay, so what do we want to discuss here? So this is donating for charity. That's amazing.
Yes.
What made you choose that charity?
It's a local charity that's nearby, and they make wigs for children that are going through chemo and such things. And I think it'd be nice to have a lot of hair to give away. So I think it'd be good if we do like a multi-front effort together with the audience, and add some to this. Oh yeah, you can see more.
Wow, look at that.
All the way.
All the way to the
back.
So
backside over
I think
there,
we could definitely make a change, and I think it'd be very nice for us to do that. Sorry. And
okay, great.
Who gets the snip?
Huh?
Who gets to do the snip?
Oh, I'm doing at least four ponytails basically. So and 4 people could get a cut out of it if they want to do it, and we'll do it right here on the show live. So something to motivate you guys. Little trauma for me.
That'd be good. So how long has it taken you to grow this hair?
It's been a long time. It's been like I did a count at least 1,500 days. So it feels like around 4 or 5 years, which was way more than I remembered.
So you can get that back.
You get it back.
Yeah, it'll come back.
Okay, great. Well, there we go. So now you've seen Fabian, and that link, if you are part of the chat, first of all, subscribe to the channel, get into the chat. The link is also in description, right, Fabian?
Yes.
So you guys can get into the description.
You can scan that QR code.
And there it is, a chop for charity. Get that right now.
Look at that. We already have $27. Look at that. Amazing.
Booyaka, 5,000 gold. We're going to, trust me on this one, we are going to crush that 5,000.
Yeah, it seemed like sometimes
our
you got it.
Our group will do this, and I'll put it out on my Twitter and everything like that.
Got a great community.
We'll do that. I mean, that's literally why I'm doing Instagram, is for things like that. So we'll get that out on Instagram and on Twitter and everything. So good job, Fabian, man. Let's
have fun with it.
Yeah,
I think we can definitely make a change.
We'll get a countdown going too for when we do it live. Make sure you guys don't miss that, because that's always always a little bit of fun.
And we'll try to also get to reach the goal by the 28th of August.
Yeah, I saw that.
There you go, August 28th.
So we'll give it 2 weeks from now, a little more than 2 weeks, and then we'll see what's going on.
And it's happening on that day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's crush that goal. Let's look.
Yeah, well, we're gonna
that goal should be easy days. So everyone get over there. We'll keep updating it, and we'll see what we can do. Make that a little more exciting.
With a Friday, you can have some brews on there. So
that'd be a good one.
Fabian's hair has some brews on the afternoon show.
Yeah, really good. There you go. And $33. We'll just keep on scanning that. We'll keep on checking out to make sure that is all good. So thanks, Fabian. A lot of fun there. So
and pay it forward, everyone.
Yeah, man. I mean, here we go. Box L again, $8.50. Good little look there. We just had that from Tisha Perkins. Thanks for that super chat. As it's now starting to break out to the high side. This name just halted and opened up. Nothing. AAPR. Nothing. AAAU.
That was halted news.
Nothing.
That one.
AAAU is actually. This might be that's nothing. I don't know what that is. 1 million shares. I don't know what the hell's going on with this one. And then BAN L was the other one, and then OFAL here as well today, doing a little bit of work there. And then we were in and out. Profitable name for me today. BQ Bauco Holdings. There, Box Light is the name there that we're talking about. I'm going to take a little bit of advantage on this one and just go ringing. Oops, I don't mean that one. Let's do this for Ozan. But I did mean ringing of the register. So there, as we come back upside, just into another level. Look, we're long. We're only in the money now, 50 cents on SpaceX. But that take was again at 148, or just shy of 148, ahead of that 25 period moving average.
I missed that graphic.
Yeah, it's 315 now. Yeah, that's a good one. This is like the Lego cash register. This is like old school, man. I think I used to have
that same sound. Every time Kevin Gossman would get a strikeout for the Jays, they'd play that for the Ks. I don't know if they did it for other stuff, but they definitely did it for him. I like little things like that.
I think they play it too when the guy from the Maple Leafs comes out of the box. Anyway, SpaceX, that's a good one there. Yeah, bye Kevin Gossman. But yeah, nice move in. I feel like we could give this up. So my stop is 147. That's it. We'll stop out. We only have 10% left, actually a little bit more than that, 15% left now of this. And if it goes great, we'll look at 149. That's where my next offer is, actually at 149.20. At the break of 149, give me a little bit more than that. We'll get greedy. So break of 149 is my next offer, up there at 149.20. Still think there's a great opportunity for this to hit 150 today. Although it has really, the last hour, it's been doing nothing. Last hour. I mean, if you go all the way back to here, fine. But basically the last 20 minutes, just been hovering and just kicking out. So we'll see if we can get a little bit more movement on that. CoreWeave, same kind of thing, not doing a whole heck of a lot. This reminds me of yesterday where we were pretty slow all afternoon. But a bounce off VWAP is nice for the futures. So yeah, keep that box out, keep things like that going on. And if you can, man, keep supporting that donation for the hair.
Absolutely.
I think that would be awesome to do that.
And we have Arthur. Didn't see it. Actually wasn't on my little graphic thing to put it up there, Arthur. We weren't trying to miss it. How do you identify a buy program or big money? I think oftentimes, you'll hear say, oh, there's a buy program on this stock or that stock. Usually, I wouldn't call anything on Hertz necessarily a buy program. I'm looking for something very linear all day. And a lot of times it'll be obvious, maybe more on a 15-minute where it's just relentless. Just relentless upside the entire day that's very orderly. I'm trying to think of a stock that might have it recently. Not really Palantir. And the problem is trying to find the stock that, I'm looking to fit something that I can't think of one where it was completely obvious on that day. When it's got earnings and it's trending higher, just because it happens to be buying up, I don't know that you can call that a buy program. Oh, I know what it was. It was SpaceX at the close the other day. There was one day where SpaceX in the afternoon just started randomly ramping. It was doing absolutely nothing, and then at about 3 o'clock, it just had a buy program into the imbalance, and then it just shut off. It was so orderly. It went from doing one thing to distinctly different, and it did so 2 days in a row. Although more strongly on the second day. To me, it has to be obvious if you're going to call it a buy program. It can't just be an upward trend. And I don't know if it was when we were talking this morning or just even this afternoon about shorts. Sometimes, the time that you get out feels like the stock flipped the switch. I don't know, man. I wish I had seen that it flipped the switch. But I just remember saying, yeah, if it's a VWAP trade, it's a VWAP trade, and that sucker really caught one on SpaceX. Whether you can call that program buying, I don't know that I would. A lot of times it should be so obvious, and when I say linear, I mean it doesn't have a lot of these breakouts and pullbacks. It's almost like it's just going in a straight line. It deviates a little bit, but not by much. That's what a program buy is. You're not getting those wild spikes and retracements, pull back into VWAP, consolidates for a while, then breaks out again. None of those things are happening when it's a program buy. It's just doing this the whole way. So that would be the big thing to watch for. Nick Dubs is asking about Dell. Was Dell maybe an example of that? Kind of, not really. Again, it's hard to, you can't just, you can't just sort of come up with one out of nowhere and say, well, that's kind of the best fit. Because as I said, you're looking for something that didn't have consolidations, didn't have breakouts, didn't have pullbacks into VWAP. It just sits there on a linear up move. And that doesn't happen all the time. I can remember a few times when Alibaba's done it in the past, but none of those are recently. Overweight spider. Every time I see that super chat, it's I don't like spiders. App, please. And thank you, AppLovin.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you for absolutely nothing. AppLovin's chart is how I feel about, this is maybe not the best example, but Alphabet since that C-suite shakeup. It's like you get the low, you think you're maybe bouncing, but holds a low, no breakout, and then it's just been downward trending ever since. I hate to say it, but it went lower, tried to hold, and then just continues to fade. So this feels like a short until something is proven otherwise. Sucks. Look, a lot of software got smoked today. Had some bad days. Even Microsoft caught a stray. I think at one point, I believe Palantir might have been. Maybe not so much anymore. I haven't double checked to see whether it is, but app's getting absolutely smoked, and it's just a continuation. And the only reason, under no other circumstances, would I put Alphabet and AppLovin in the same sentence, except for the fact that Alphabet also had like a crazy gap down and then tried to consolidate and has been falling. The difference between the two, one of them's pulling back in an uptrend, and the other one is falling apart. Alphabet's pulling back into an uptrend. Maybe not respecting the 200 period because it broke last time, but I like that channel. Someone asked me if I was buying the dip on Alphabet. I'm still holding hope for it to come back into this channel here, which, I don't know, it was this channel that broke out, so if it puts any kind of a bounce between 290 and 300, or maybe just in front of 300, I like it, but that's easy to say. Sometimes they don't get to the level you want. That's part of the market. That's just part of life, right?
That's why I just took it that day at 320. I mean, I still think it can go lower. You never know. Army
that is the low,
Army Kalan. There will SpaceX. What are the chances SpaceX gets to 160 this week? I said high. I think there's a very good chance that SpaceX gets to 160. I think there's a good chance that we break above 150 here today and hold it. And then tomorrow when you wake up, you'll see a 158. And then that answers your question, and it's Thursday. So you just need to break 150. You break 150 today, this stock is 160 tomorrow. So, and that's only $1.50 away from right now. You know, it's already made that move. Unfortunately, we did write down 134. We wrote down 105 as the bottom on the day for the washout day there, and the bottom was literally 105. So, you know, even dollars, it likes it. That's what I'm getting at. So I think this does have a magnet to 150. Look, if we don't get there today, I think that there could be a different story, because you don't get there, then tomorrow if you open up again underneath where we are today, if the sellers push a bit, then what's the reason for it to get back upside? I think you want it to break through 150 so that it holds that level tomorrow. And then, you know, like you've already put $14 on its name today from its low. So, you know, if you put that tomorrow, then you're at 162 from this area. And this doesn't matter. See up here, this 11%, irrelevant. Doesn't matter. The stock will move however it wants to move. Like we've been saying for a long time, this stock is just going to be a monster, and there's a lot of traders a lot of people that are hating on it, and a lot of people that think, you know, this is going back to $50 and it shouldn't be up here and this and that. And you're probably right if you are looking at valuation and you're looking at like, hey, pie in the sky kind of stuff, which it all is for now. But they still have Starlink, and then that XAI talk today with the new Grok. I mean, part of the reason why I've lost my Tesla to my wife now is because of the AI that's involved in it, and it's not even anything special. It just has Grok in it, and it just has, you know, the maps and all the, I mean, it has a big AI, but it's the same kind of stuff that it's always had. And so I like Tesla for that reason, but also SpaceX tied up with XAI. I think there are some, you know, levers that can get pulled there. And, you know, you already heard that they're only using NVIDIA products and this and that. And so, you know, as their stack is going to get higher, we already heard from, what was it, Jensen himself, I think, said that Tesla had the best stack to begin with. He did say that. So, yeah, exactly. So, hold on, Dara just said something, so hold on a second.
Thank you very much, Dara.
So, you know, just like that, you know, I remembered that one and confirmed there from Adara. So it's just like if Tesla has a good AI stack, they've already passing that on now to SpaceX in the wrap up of XAI. And then soon enough, you're going to have Tesla, you know, most likely going to merge or some sort of something with SpaceX there. So, you know, that just gives you more reason and more firepower to maybe buy some SpaceX and not get in front of, you know, what eventually is going to be a dump. It's going to come back in. There's going to be someone that sits there and starts selling. There's many shares that are coming on lockup. They had 600 billion shares or something.
It was the first one was a small one.
Yeah. So
the bigger lockups are still to come. I believe Dara has an infographic on that as well that you should probably check out. Adam James Abroad, thank you for the super chat. SpaceX. Oh, you should have done 5 of them.
Yeah. It's like Beetle.
Who are the 5 greatest stocks of all time? SpaceX, because it hits hot fire. Well, if we're concerned about 150, how about we vote on it, everybody? Let's make it real quick. Yes or no? Does it get to $150 today? I'm not going to do the whole it has to close there because it's a bit of a handicap. It's at 148. So saying it has to close there is a bit unfair because it's already underneath. I want this to be a fair poll. So will SpaceX get to $150 today at any point? Type 1 in the chat and hit enter. You got to do that for yes, and then just vote with a 2 for no. Nice green and red. Keep it very, very simple. And if you're wondering how can I participate, well, make sure you're in the chat in the first place. Hit the subscribe button. It's the subs only chat. You can ask questions. You can tag us.
Yeah,
and again, you can participate in the pool. You can throw symbols in there to the our visualizer
mixed.
as
what
well.
What is it now?
It's 35.
Okay.
Yeah, 65, 35. It started out hot fire for the yes.
I'm leaning towards maybe no at this point. But
well, the closer we get to 350.
Just got to 148.50 again.
What was the imbalance yesterday?
Oh,
was it? It might not. It might.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was big. It was like 2 or 3 million, but I think it was to sell. Was it on SpaceX? Because
I'm checking the imbalances in general. SpaceX is a Nasdaq stock. You're not going to know the imbalance on SpaceX until it hits 350.
It was a heavy sell. Yeah. I think it was 2.8 million to sell or something, and then I went long saying that it was going to pair off, and it did. And that was the excitement that you guys all saw at the beginning or the end of the show.
2 days in a row.
Because Joe was going off too because he had NVIDIA long. Into that one as well. So yeah, there it goes, man. Now you're only $1 away. So by the way, whoever voted 2 probably going to lose. But I was thinking maybe it wasn't going to go, and then it just went 75 cents in literally, as my kids say, Dad, literally, went 80 cents there in about a minute and a half. So you have another minute and a half similar to the last, and you're at 150 right there, and we all are losers on that bet. So we'll give it a go here and see what winds up happening with SpaceX into the close. It's looking more and more like that. Yeah, we are going to get that 150 nod at some point here. So, but I'm still in it. And you know what? I'm going to take the advantage right now. Take some off. I'm offering with that 60 there. Well, you just saw me show up there. I think it was EdgeX or something at 163. Maybe actually I always use ARCA. So we take another out right there. You just saw me take that at 163. 163, 148.63. Hey, there you go, 163. Okay, there's my price target for Friday because I accidentally said that. So 163 for SpaceX. But
that's a random number.
Yeah, I know, because I was only saying it. Well, now it's at 148.78, so I'm glad. Now it's at 149. So here goes SpaceX, man. It's just another one. We're going, right? And we put this on for you guys live. Said we were going short. The minute that didn't work out, we got out immediately and then busted it long. So there it goes, man. SpaceX. Well spotted upside, 150 break. I think the question more should be, are you guys going long if it breaks 150? My answer is yes. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening here. I don't even have a stop anymore on it. I'm getting relatively light. So our stop is still 147, so we can cancel that and just kind of manually trade. And then we'll watch out for that break of 150. Catch me if you can upside 150 on SpaceX. All right, yeah, Box L, we'll have a quick check on that, and then we're going to go over to the desk with Sia, I believe. All right, Box L, Box Light, yeah, new all-time highs. So for you guys, so that's a nice move there, up to 870. There it goes, man. Box Light, earnings a couple days ago, blasting forward today, up 195% there. So yeah, man, people trading this name, definitely feeling it today. All right, over to Adara. I believe, and then maybe Sia, but we're going to go back to the desk regardless.
I am here to remind you guys about some big company events that are coming down the pipeline. We'll start here with Google. This infographic, not necessarily relevant to anything I'm going to say, but it's just a review of Google's earnings last quarter. You can find it on XHLD Research. Google has its Made by Google event happening at 6 p.m. That's when the keynote event is going to start. Trevor Noah, I was hearing, is going to be hosting that, so that's kind of an interesting look. They already announced these pixels, which they actually had to have the price increased on by $100 each because, again, we've got this memory crunch continuing. So keep an eye on how, I guess, mostly would have to look at the overnight market to see how this reacts here to Google. And SanDisk, and I'm very excited about this, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., SanDisk's Investor Day. I am really curious to see what they give us. This is a look here at their fiscal 2026, and you can find this infographic, as always, on X at TTV Research. But without further ado, I believe we are good to go with one. So if we can, I'm going to see if we can start here with the Asian market segment. And I apologize for not giving enough layup to this because I didn't know we were going to be doing it, but we're going to be doing it right now if we can. And we will be talking about the Asian markets. And speaking of memory, SK Hynix, lots of different memory names in Asia. And here to tell us more about memory and everything else is one.
Thank you, Adara. Loving the news on Trevor Noah hosting that event. Love the guy as well. But onto Asian markets, mostly trading higher overnight, led by strong gains, of course, in South Korea and Taiwan due to the surge in chip makers. So let's head straight over to the South Korean Kospi. They're up by 3.68%. You know, Samsung up 6.7%. SK Hynix up 5.3%. You know, all this surged after reports that Singapore's Temasek Holdings may be investing in both companies in the near future. So something to look out for. In Taiwan, they were also up for the day at 0.88%. Tech stocks also rising by 1.1% in that region, led, of course, by TSMC, up by 0.8%. Hon Hai was up by 2.5%, while Unimicron up by 0.8%. Tech services also catching a bid with Acton Technology Corporation and Quanta Computers jumping 3.8 and 3.2% respectively. And Japan, we know yesterday they had a public holiday, Mountain Day holiday, but post-holiday they rebounded with tech sentiment, of course, boosting some strong outlooks from CoreWeave as well as SMCI. Key gainers in Japan included that of Fujikura up by nearly 4%, Kyokusa Holdings up also nearly 4%, and Murata up by 3.2%. Now, as we head over to the Asian markets opening, we, of course, have to take into consideration what to look out for. Of course, reactions to the July CPI print this morning, that's going to be the main catalyst for Asia. Of course, the cooler print will most likely boost Asian growth sectors, so keep an eye out for that. Kospi, they're currently at a 6,600 resistance. Watch if any foreign funds continue to flow into the South Korean Kospi at the open, especially post Temasek news or the surge, and whether or not there is some profit taking that will happen in the morning. And in India, we haven't been talking about India much, but they haven't been doing quite well this week. They're currently at a support flow of 24,250. You know, we had news about Tata Group, their stocks falling, following that of Chairman N. Chandrasekaran's sudden resignation from the company ahead of their AGM next week. So that's not a good outlook there. But let's see if they can hold that 24,300 key support for the Nifty 50 into the open tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, one thing that's not opening tomorrow, it's actually opening right now, is this America's Counter Cartel Coalition Conference. I'm only mentioning it because Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is currently speaking. If anything about Iran is mentioned, I'll let you guys know. This event's kind of an odd hodgepodge. I just saw Senator Bernie Moreno of Ohio speaking. So if I get any more details, I'll keep you posted. But we can keep you posted here on the Asian and European markets at 3:30 p.m. and 11:30 a.m. respectively. Every day we're here with you at Trader TV Live with One. Back to you.
Thanks, One. Thank you, Adara. Great updates as always. Just a couple of quick updates. We have a super chat. We're going to get there. Don't worry, Alphabet, we see you. But just a quick update, a couple of trades. 2 came out, 1 good, 1 semi-bad. If you're still in Hertz, I'm not, because we had our stop underneath the prior bar. It got a bit to the 1-to-1, but no further. But I only took a third out, right? So we'll take a L there. And then DRAM came out because that hit the volume weighted average price. A good one.
Nice.
So it comes down into VWAP. Still don't know what the deal is with SNDK. I don't want to read too much into it, but something seemingly happened to SNDK at 2 o'clock, which was unlike the market and dragging things down a bit. And for Alphabet, there it is, super chat. How do you, $8.10? Very specific. Significant stuff. Maybe you're just a fan of Trello ones. I don't know. How do you feel about CRISPR long term? Thank you. This show is swag money. I still like CRISPR. They got a sick. For any of these genomics plays, I think obviously now you understand that this has been something. It's been a dream and a pipe dream for a long time. But they do have a sickle cell treatment which has FDA approval, which has tremendous growth, and I just think that's a great story in the general sense, but it's the accumulation I like. Like it's held so long down here, and then right at the beginning of the year, like you on the weekly chart, you just started to have the moving averages sort of catch up and hold a low, and now it's just basing off this 50. Really, they just need to actually see some revenues. Like it's tremendous upside, but at the end of the day, everybody knows that developing treatments and drugs is incredibly difficult. It's a tough business. Like CRISPR could be dead in 10 years, or they could make a gigantic breakthrough. And I hope it's with this sickle cell because that's a cruel, cold-blooded disease, and really gene editing is one way to go, and certainly huge potential for them. But you understand, just because it's accumulating down here doesn't mean it's doing anything. There's really no catalyst that has it breaking out in the short term. Unfortunately, that would be in and around like that 65 area for a temp break. But it's now starting to merge both the 50 and the 200 back over both again. The last time it did this, it went on a bit of a jaunt for 25-30%. But you need more than that. Like, this stock has potential to double, triple up, but also could lose half in one foul swoop. Disneyland royalty, thoughts on Intel bounce? Remember, in 15 minutes, it might be a big buy and bounce. Right now, it's going in the other direction. So, like, I'm not going to sit on the bid because we're expecting a buy and bounce. I was hoping it would hold the trend up, and then there'd be some kind of a long into 350. But I'm not going to sit there just losing on a long because we think we're going to see 10 million to buy or something huge on Intel. The way it's moving now, we'll just have to wait till 350 when we see a number. Early looks are nothing burgers. Unless you're into SockSell, Pinterest, nothing. PR, I don't even know what that is. What is PR? 1.6 million to sell on whatever PR is. Permian Resources Corporation, so no idea. CNQ is a sell of 2.8, but that's one that usually pairs off and ends up a nothing burger on CNQ. It's moving a little bit, but I'd wait for Intel. Intel's supposed to be an upweight on the S&P 500 tonight, and we're expecting to see a bunch of shares. I think SpaceX has had good moves in the imbalances 2 days in a row. Like, it's trended and then reversed at 355 2 days in a row now, so why not look for it to do it a third?
Yeah, we like some Intel there. Intel and Google, the two latest names I bought, I think, anyways, in the portfolio. Yeah, this BQ, what's up, Bov and everybody else? Yeah, it did make a move. It tried to go to VWAP 143, didn't quite get there. Got to 138. Now trying to pull back. I just used Bovin and everybody else. I just used the 200 period to get in and basically get out. And then we got out for like flat and then lost 1 penny on our last, like, I don't know how many percentage. I think we maybe had 20% left right there, 10 and 10. That makes sense. We have a bunch of outs. I don't know if you can see there, a bunch of fills right here, all the way to the upside there as we got fill. I just saw different gateways and, some like dark pools and whatnot as we go back up there to the upside. But yeah, BQ, good name there, Bovin, and congrats on that one. And then Adam James Abroad wants to know if we've talked about SpaceX yet, and we haven't, so we're going to do that now. That got as high as 149.60 and then fell like a rock back down to the downside. But we got more out on the way up. So to this point right now, under 10% left now on SpaceX. So if it breaks back below 147, we're going to get out. I did have, I was looking at SMCI. This call was $35 today. So, we'll pat ourselves on the back for that one. But there it goes, upside right here now for SMCI. What a day for them, man, closing up 20%. And even when it was here, it was only up 8 or 9% or something. And then I was like, well, you know what? The percentage move was supposed to be 13. It was a great quarter, increasing margins. Love that. And there it goes, SMCI. Damn, shorty, never ever goes against us right there and rips to the upside. This is going to be yet again another profitable day. Oh, I said I would look to see the last time I was red, but SMCI there, nice move there today to that upside. SpaceX out at 147, and CoreWeave, honestly, man, is just weaving its way through VWAP, like, just like it's weaved it up and down and, just making like a little hat here, nice little weave, maybe a basket. 108. So I'm going to take another piece right now on CoreWeave because with those imbalances now 13 minutes away, I'm just going to punch out. There we go. So we get some 04s there on the way out. So punching out a little bit more on CoreWeave, getting lighter and lighter on these positions as we head into the close, right? I mean, you're 11 minutes away from those imbalances, and we saw yesterday what they were able to do. So no on that one.
Chris Vicious, does XRP have potential or is it a scam?
Ripple?
I don't have an educated opinion on calling it a scam or it has potential. What I will say is this: you're in a bear market that's basically extended everywhere. So it's trend down, it looks poor, and whenever I think about something which is like precipitously looking bad, ooh, look at that, it is working. Oh, I was trying to, I swear, a second ago I went to pull it up on our charts and it didn't work, but it must have just filled in. So
yeah, it probably took a while.
Yeah, it probably just took some time. No, there's not that much to see here. I don't know what's going on with the volume there. But the more important thing is all of crypto is in a bear market, and it has been cyclical for some time. And until it wakes up, and maybe not till closer to next year, I think it's usually about every 4 years. So like back in the 2028, 2028, maybe late next year, mid next year. You just have to be patient because this is what you live with crypto, with Bitcoin, with ETH, with Ripple. It's just the same thing. So XRP is just living the same fate. And until we start to get bullish again, I think it's just on the back burner. Every now and then there's going to be tradable setups. ETH has been fantastic. Had been fantastic. I shouldn't say is. Had been fantastic for a short little jaunt off of the lows. Much better than what Bitcoin was able to do. Like ETHA, the ETF, like 11 to 14. That's not bad. Now it seems like it's going right back into nothingness. So ride the waves whenever you can get them if you're lucky enough to. But I still think we're in a bit of a bear market there. Okay, let's see if Intel's settled down here. The answer is not really. They're still selling this one off. So it hit VWAP, didn't bounce, and Intel's still heading lower. Remember, expected to be a buy. So hoping that we get like some 10 million buy. It'd be nice. Imagine if in 8 minutes it's at $100 and then it's a buy imbalance. That'd be the perfect. If you could play an imbalance off of the $100 level on Intel would be nice. But it has to come out a buy at 350, and we're not going to know for 9 minutes. It's not a New York stock.
So SpaceX came down to 147. I took a little bit long. We give it to 146.75. We said we would stop. Okay, here it goes. We literally put on 10 more percent just to see if it's going to bounce off 75. We're out. I'm going to make sure my price is right. Okay, yeah, 74. So if it breaks below 75, we're out. So we just put on a small little reload there. I got some out at 30 when it popped immediately when we took it. But yeah, just at 10% on now. So we'll have to wait to see. It looks like there it goes. So bye-bye SpaceX. So we'll go to the downside rate now, Blaine, on SpaceX. And I will trade it again. Just we got to let it go because now the imbalances, there could be a sell side. Look at the sell coming in right now off of 150, right? I mean, it got as high as 149.50. And like when we put that poll up, I was like, you know what, I think it's probably going to be a no. But, we took advantage of that move and got out what we needed to and then put on 10% more there, got some out at 30 and then lost 25. So basically made 25 cents on like small and then lost it on the way back in there. So we're gonna have to give it just a little bit of a minute here as the NASDAQ is slip sliding away, man. I mean, the NASDAQ is nicely cooking to the downside here again today. So, and it's still a great day, up 0.7, but we are falling back in right now on that spot there. USO, let's see if there's any sort of an actionable trade here. Are we going upside maybe in oil? No. So I thought maybe we could have been creating this move down, but no. Oil, if anything, is following the market right now. GLD, we can take a quick look at see if there's anything happening in the gold market. I mean, that's why we get out, man. Now SpaceX is at 146 clean, so 146.30 right now. GLD, we talked about a little bit of a breakout there of 390 on GLD. That's been a good one. Only to 404, but I think there could be an opportunity to get some gold in the account as well at some of these levels.
Gold, right yeah, the daily chart looks like really good for the breakout on gold, I think. So I could see that. I don't actually own any gold. It's physical silver, but no gold. Never really have. I always feel like it's better if you can find a good miner to play the move with. Potentially get a little more bang for your buck. Next time, we should have Raheem on this week. Well, maybe we don't.
He was on last week.
Yeah, we'll see. You'll usually give some names out there. It's worth looking at a couple because there's some good Canadian mining companies that usually do pretty well, especially the juniors, to give you more bang for your buck if we do head higher. So with 5 minutes to go, I guess everything is dropping. I shouldn't be, just on SpaceX, Intel's dropping. I bet you if I pull up NVIDIA, it's falling too. NVIDIA is also falling. Someone just mentioned what's going on with SNDK. It's not. What's weird is this was relatively weak. It's no longer even falling like it was before. Micron, this isn't moving. So the memory names are a little bit stable. I bet you DRAM probably bounced. It's still a VWAP. It didn't really bounce off VWAP. What about Microsoft? There's one that we haven't looked at. Yeah, that's coming back in. So it looks like it's just everything that's going to drop down, unfortunately, into the close here. Mr. Bright says, what about MRVL? I just saw the ARM chart, and it has me thinking. MRVL's losing a bit, so that is following the market. You want to note, is there something that's not dropping that you think should be? That's kind of where my brain is going right now. So only because when we talk about MRVL, this made me think about it. ARM has this interesting double top-ish thing going on in the daily. This goes into the 200 period and then bounces, but look at the last two times at 290. Wicked got to 300, basically 300 exactly, pull back. Then again, goes, breaks the 290, goes to $300 and pulls back. Now it's a ways away. Obviously, it's a ways away here, 10% away from that 300 level, but that just seems like an obvious potential breakout on ARM. ARM is not the kind of stock that you trade on a daily basis. It's really only interesting when it's on earnings or it's breaking out a big level, because then it's a good continuation runner when it does break out, and that 300 sets up pretty nice. I just don't, 10% is kind of a ways to go before it gets there.
Yeah, be careful with that one. We saw 400 back to 200, now 275.
It's volatile.
Yeah, oh yeah. One name that has volatility in it recently is Google. So come on, google.nq. Like, I don't know why this takes forever. Okay, so it's actually on the way up as the Nasdaq's going, one way. You can clearly see here Google going the other way, and that other way is upside. So nicely, I mean, of course, as soon as I bring it up, like, this minute starts ticking down, but Google on a nice run from that 340. I think this is gonna be a level to mark down and think about as we look forward to Google even tomorrow or even into these imbalances. I don't think we're not gonna get down to 341 right now. We're now 3 minutes away from the imbalances, but I really liked Google as a stock to watch out for. And we already talked about some of the key levels there. I really don't like Meta. I really wish I would have sold out of Meta and into Google today. Could still take advantage of that, but really miss that 600 break there on Meta. SpaceX is getting clocked right now, so I'm not hearing anything in my ear or anything like that. Maybe there's a tweet going on, but SpaceX down $5 right there, 150 down to 145 and change. So again, like, pretty happy with what we wound up doing on that by actually getting out of it at those levels. So, I'm not going to complain about what we did there. But yeah, there it goes downside. 3 minutes to go until we see why exactly that's been happening. And, if it's a buy imbalance, I'm going to see if I can punch long and get a decent price, because someone's selling this off when we know there's buyers here. So maybe, and let's wait to see, right? Maybe the influence here is on the other way around for the imbalances. So we'll have to have a quick look to see what winds up happening there. But okay, here we go. Dave has another idea over here.
As always, and thanks for the super chat there, Dave. Your dumbish earnings night trades. Cerebrus put, you've got the 21st of this month, 250, Coherent 360 puts.
Okay.
360 and 350. That'll be next week, Friday. And then Pan American Silver calls 50. I didn't even know they were reporting. 55, and that's like a January. That's way out there. That's like January 2028. So longer dated one. Cisco, Sean call 135, and that's September as well. And then Stub, we never hear the StubHub. Puts on StubHub 750.
Yes. Good.
Yeah, that's trouble. And then Cisco, you said unsure for Cisco, so no plays on Cisco. Yeah, I didn't know about Pan American Silver. That should be interesting.
Yeah, because you have Cisco, my call, you have 135, and then you have Cisco unsure. So, okay, so you're not sure of it. I'm not exactly sure of it either, but I do like the quarter there, and I think that's a good play there. Right before interest rates, you said 9.18. That's 9.16 is the government, the FOMC coming through. To talk all about what their expected move is. The government, give me some government money. All right, so, yep, there it is, man, 144.50, that was the low. We'll have to wait to see. We are now moments away from this populating, and when it does, we will see exactly Wagwan with SpaceX. So 1 minute now until the market on close in balance. So, yeah, exactly, Scott H. I mean, I'm with you on all of that, and Scott right here, just saying, I don't have it in the chat because we refreshed it. But right here, yeah, good. Let's let SpaceX go. Gives us more room to run tomorrow morning. Yeah, I mean, I'll be here. And, we've been putting on, like, I can just go back and show you all the notes. But again, we haven't talked about SpaceX that much. I just don't want to jinx it. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning. We could be above 150 and it's clear skies. We could actually get above 150 right now. So we now only have 20 seconds to go. Yesterday's imbalance, and I'm not going to show it to you now, but we did rip up, I think we went down $2 and then back up $1.50 or whatever. So there is a good opportunity to trade this today. So now we're only 9-10 seconds away. And we're going to see what winds up happening here for SpaceX, like maybe 147 or something as a break if it does come out a bid. There it goes, 146.50. Not really moving around. Intel with a decent buy. So that's
way smaller than expected.
Nice move, 108 to 102. Yeah, smaller than we were expecting. MRVL with a sell. There's Nebius with a buy. So there that goes. Wow, 255. CoreWeave now. Up $2 as that's going. Google with a sell side there. But there's CoreWeave really starting to get going. So we like that trade.
SpaceX is 370.
Yeah, 108.50. Okay, so that's nothing for Space. Buy at least it was?
370,000 buy. So that's
all
pretty
right.
small.
We're getting out of more CoreWeave now, man. This is going to be a big trade. So CoreWeave will lead the day for me on my net today. It'll be CoreWeave, then SMCI, then SpaceX. So in that order, and then BQ. We didn't put that much money into BQ. Oh wow, look where BQ is right now, downside. So there it goes. So yeah, well, it's been a pretty good day trading. Only 4 symbols for myself.
Be quiet, that stock apparently at the end of $1 billion to the sell side overall. Doesn't seem like it.
BQ.
Doesn't really seem like it's that crazy because
it was early.
Intel's the only big one.
Yeah.
Nasdaq's a 840, Dow's a small
SpaceX,
buy, the Mag 7's a small sell. There's just nothing really standing out here. I mean, MRVL's, it's less than 1 million shares. That's a nothing burger. And I understand Intel is a buy, but the expected on Intel was 34, and it's what, 3? 2.7. And see the paired volume? 28 million paired. So basically, this came in all paired. Like what you wanted to see, it's going to be like 30 million in the closing print more. It'll be over 34 million, which was as expected. But you wanted to see double digits here, not 2.7. So I'm going to call that one an absolute nothing burger. I don't think there's a flip trade on SpaceX unless it goes from a small buy to a huge sell or something. But right now, I don't know why I have Uber up on here. I have SanDisk, SpaceX, and Uber on my imbalance credit. I must have left it from the other day when we were looking at SpaceX at the close, and Uber must have been in imbalance. That's the only reason why. But if I see that flip to a sell at 55, there could be a reversal trade in SpaceX. But it would have to be significant. If you don't see 1 million, there's just nothing doing there at all. So I'd say disappointment on that Intel story. It's already in the index, but anytime you have a major upweight, you're looking for a bit more of a press. And 30 million shares would have been nice. Easy peasy added Real Deal Neil bought to print money. A shout out to you, Easy Peasy. We appreciate all of the super chats. But you know what? We got a great community. I just want to remind everybody, if you're thinking about a way to pay it forward, we got a new way in here. And shout out to Fabian here, because pinned in the chat, also should be, the link should be in the description of the video as well, if you're not in the chat. So it's pinned right here. We've got the Chop for Charity. So by August 28th, maybe we'll all get to take a link. And Fabian's going to donate that quaff to charity. It'll be fantastic. We'll hit our goal. We'll have a lot of fun with it. It's a Friday, so we'll probably party it up. Maybe we'll have those. Maybe we'll finally have those burgers we keep talking about on Friday.
Yeah, hopefully they come. Oh, what? We have to get them. Yeah.
Well, we were supposed to do burgers.
Whenever you want. I got them last time. It's up to you. We went to Cabanos.
It turned into, I don't know, the last time we were going to do it, everyone just wanted brews and ended up grabbing. What was the day that we went? You weren't here that day that we had on the Friday where we had a couple of brews on the show.
Oh, the day we had a couple of beers on the show. Sean was not there. I believe I know we definitely had Heineken's. That was going back at.
What was the occasion?
A month or so ago.
But why were we? I just remember
Why
doing.
did we get them? Because there were super chats.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah. So you and Joe, I guess, had a beer. That's nice.
It's always good on a Friday.
Yeah, always good on a Friday. Why not? All right, nothing really halting around. I mean, it looks like whoever put that money on the short for SpaceX and around that 150, they're going to win. I mean, there wasn't much on the imbalance, but it is making its way back up. I mean, wouldn't that be ironic if in the last 6 minutes, this name absolutely took off back up to 150? It actually would not surprise me if that was the case. You said it came as a sell, though, or a buy?
No, buy, small.
Yeah, so even that flip up.
It's a little bigger, actually.
Probably won't do too much to it. Apple came with a buy. You can see there's not much going on there on that name today, after all said and done. Sorry, I got to resort that. I clicked on the wrong thing. Rig, Intel, a little bit of a buy. We sort of explained that there was some sort of an S&P situation with them tonight. So, okay. Nebius there as well. And then unfortunately, like CoreWeave, we've been doing good on it. We do have some good outs on this name. It's still $2 and change in the money, but it's not mooning completely. CoreWeave going to be my number one stock today. And okay, back up to 108.40. I might as well just go again here on CoreWeave and get some more out. So we'll put some orders out right now on CRW. Oh, yeah, we got it at 108.40. Let's wait for one last second to see if it does go back up to the upside. SMCI going to close near day's high. That's been a rocket ship today as well. And then, of course, the name that we never talk about, SpaceX. And then other than that, Cisco earnings coming, expecting 87 cents there today. So we can watch out for our good friend Cisco coming through at some point there. Not 405, so there you go. Dara's got that one nailed. So 405 coming for Cisco. But yeah, it should be a good one. I mean, that's the biggest name there. Jack in the Box, I'm hearing in my ear. Space, SPC, Virgin Galactic, complete disaster of a stock. They're coming tonight.
Yuck.
So yeah, lots of stuff going on there tonight. But nothing too crazy. Nano Nuclear, NNE.
What are they supposed to be reporting?
What was that?
Virgin Galactic was good for one thing. It was the run up. It had
write-off.
No, but it had a mini squeeze because of the SpaceX IPO, which was semi-epic because it had absolutely no reason to go with the group. Like it's not Rocket Labs, it's not ASTS, it's not even Citus, unfortunately. Well, Intel did not. At the 355, I was kind of hoping you'd see a pop. Instead of being 3 million, maybe you'd see 5 or 10 million. Intel got even smaller, so they paired it off even more.
Right.
See, now it's over that 34 million, and it's basically all paired. It's still $1 million to buy, but that ends up being a slight disappointment. I suppose you could have, if you're faster than the bots, you could have scalped 60 cents, but you're not faster than the bots at 350. So good luck with that. Looks like it's going to hold on to $100, but they sold that one off heavily, I guess, knowing that there was going to be some buy and balance going into some profit taking happening on that one. And as we said, SpaceX did grow till 700,000, then flipped to a small buy, 380,000, which I think is not big enough. If it had flipped to 1 million, I think that would have been worth hitting the sell key on SpaceX, but not for 380K, not even a little bit. And for Joey saying that Micron always has a death candle at the end of the day, I mean, I wasn't here yesterday. It doesn't look like it did yesterday, if anything. Is that real? What
was it? Oh,
yesterday it had a $20 up candle and then came right back in right at the end of the day. So I don't know if it always has a death candle. I would agree a heavy sell came into Micron. Those are the types of patterns. If you see something and it ends up being true, go for it. But I don't see that at all on Micron. I saw it doing the opposite yesterday. It actually had a big breakout and then failure at the end of the day. 5 points is pretty good for Micron. Pretty good. But I don't like what I saw with SNDK in the afternoon.
Micron's been pretty good. Just a quick little look at what's been going on today in the generic market. In the generic marketplace here on the S&P 500. Amazon down 2, Microsoft down 2, Meta down 3.5. Hate Meta, honestly. Berkshire down 1.3%. I still own Meta. I got to get out of that one for sure. All right, Berkshire down 1.3. Tesla down 1.5 there. It's nice to see some of these names battling back there. Caterpillar, 857, not great though. G Vernova, over 1,000, so that's nice just today. Up $27, up 2.86%. Lam Research as well, another good name to get involved with. There's your Lumentum, and we had that earnings report earlier. That's up 13% there as we, look forward to more news from them on some of their dealings, in the space. Amazon, Walmart, nice day today. We already talked about the sort of story there with Home Depot and some stepping down of employees. Target 1.08% upside. Walmart, nice cook. 116, man. That's really that was a good value buy down there at 108, man. Shout out to Joe and everybody. And we actually talked about that on the show a little bit down there at 108. What's this one here? Process Industries. Okay. Dow Chemicals is pretty much one of the only names I own. Lindy, is that what that is? ADM, Archer Daniel Midland coming through as well there. But yeah, ALB, Albertsons, Dow. Okay. Not much going on there in Process Industries. They're downside there. But it looks like it's the electronic technology space that's holding it there. Cisco up 3, Intel up 3, AMD up 2, NVIDIA, the big dog, and then Micron. So yeah, as we get ready to close out this session with the last
Banks
minute is now, Banks had JP up. XLF probably up in general. So good one on that. And yeah, man, here we go. BoxL kicking it today as well, up to $8. We'll see what that does tomorrow for BoxL.
And my word is correct. With only 30 seconds to go, why not? Nebius again? This wants $260 for Nebius.
Yeah.
34%. This one is absolutely on fire. And it's going to close right at the high, it looks like. So with 10 seconds to go, we'll throw up the closing bell. Or will we? That's fine. We could have just looked at Nebius, because that one's an absolute rocket ship as we get the closing bell right about now. And the actual number is 259 change, 34% for them. It is going meme crazy over here on NBIS, it seems like. Yeah, that was wild. I didn't see an imbalance on it, but huge volume ramp up at the end of the day. Obviously, the closing candle is always going to be the biggest candle that you can of the day, but it was ramping up in volume regardless. So let's see if there's continuation tomorrow. You had 3 huge runners, CRWV, Nebius, and SMCI. And then maybe we'll see some more. It's a tough act to follow. We were talking about that earlier. It's a tough act to follow for some of the earnings names today. But there we get some donations for when Fabian is going to cut the quaff, or maybe we'll get to it.
We already have $500 at least right there.
There it is. Already today.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, guys, for
supporting
donating.
the cause. Supporting the cause.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
It means a lot.
We're just getting started.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that was 2 hours, man. We got that 10%.
Just 2 hours,
so
and now we got 2 weeks.
We're ready to rock and roll. Yeah, that's awesome. So really happy for for the kids,
everybody.
right? I mean, that's what it's all about. And Fabian's gonna look super handsome with short.
I'll join you guys.
Well, don't do that.
No, you're not joining all the way.
Yeah,
if you want to,
I can join me in Turkey.
I can do the buzz cut for you.
Yeah, we can have it. I have all
I'm proficient with it because I do it myself.
Coming up soon. But yeah, today I had the 2 big runners as well. The number 2 stocks 1 and 2 here for me, CRWV and SMCI. So big moves. Yeah, SMCI was the best trade of the day in my opinion. They're 35. We wrote it down. I mean, it closes at 38. Just an absolute monster. CRWV took a little bit of work, right? We had to just keep on supporting the bid down here for CRWV, which managed to be perfect. Also 106 tomorrow for CRWV if it's a negative day tomorrow. All right, thanks. I mean, that has been great. Thank you to everybody for supporting that cause with the hair, man. I mean, I think we're going to get to that goal. And we're really happy.
Half the time we'll get there.
Yeah, happy with that one for sure. So, okay, man. Yeah, good show today. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks, Fabian. Everybody, Ramin, everybody won. Dara. Wait a minute. Did we have the Asian update in the end?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Thanks to Dara, Sia as well. There she is over there. So shout out Tiffany, Brendan, and I don't think we missed anybody. Andre, of course, there. And then Joe and Shreve. I don't know where these guys went, but they're gone. Well, Shreve's always gone, but Joe gone as well. So, all right, man. See ya, everybody. Happy birthday to my daughter, Gia.
Happy birthday, Gia.